Hello, my name is Jordan Kalajian, and today I will be talking about why we should eliminate standardized testing. Imagine you wake up in the morning and you start to get ready for school today, but today is the day that you have your math test, and your science test, and your reading test, and your writing test. Oh, and don't forget about your history test. Now that you've just remembered standardized testing is today, how does that affect how your morning's about to go? As a college student, I've already been through the stressful process of standardized testing, and I can confirm that knowing you have a test that day that determines your future can completely change how you feel in the morning. It can even cause me to get a huge pit in my stomach. Now, you may not even want to eat breakfast. Many other students who struggle with testing can agree that standardized testing is not a good judgment of how students have learned over the year, and there should be many other alternative ways for us to prove ourselves to colleges and schools. In 2014, an article by Max from the Washington Post states, "Relying on test results to make decisions about college admissions is not only unfair, but potentially damaging to the economy. The state should eliminate standardized testing." In this presentation, I will cover 2 reasons why you should sign a petition to stop standardized testing. Standardized testing is stressful and unnecessary to determine whether a student has learned a concept. Not all students are good test takers. By eliminating these tests, we can implement alternative ways that will produce better results than our current system. I will also discuss what steps can be taken to get standardized testing eliminated. Change.org is a great website with many petitions on important issues such as the problem of standardized testing. I would like to begin by talking about the issue of how standardized testing is weighed too highly. Standardized testing has a lot of weight in it. These tests determine students' futures. In order to get into a good college, students must perform well on these tests. In order to get into a good job, you have to have gotten into a good college. And getting a good job is important because this is how you will support yourself for the rest of your life. Now, this is how we were taught to think, and by continuing this pattern, it puts stress on us from a young age. It puts pressure on students to perform well, or else they won't have a future. There is so much weight on these tests, and it just continues to go up yearly. According to Ben Pounds from the Oak Ridger in 2018, standardized test scores will count for 15% of their grades, up from 10% last year. This is only from one school, but is a constant pattern across the state. Along with the heavy weight of these tests comes a lot of stress and pressure. Because of the pressure from these tests, many students struggle with a disorder called testing anxiety. It affects children, teens, and even adults. Testing anxiety is a mix of physical and emotional responses and feelings that affect your capability to perform while taking a test. According to Nathaniel P. Vaughn from the Department of Education and Psychological Studies at the University of South Florida, in 2021, approximately 10 to 20% of students exhibit significantly high levels of test anxiety. Moreover, students with higher levels of test anxiety consistently indicate lower test scores and performance across exams and type conditions. Now that I've discussed why these tests are useless, I'm going to tell you how the change will work and how it will affect us positively. As I've been saying, we need to get rid of standardized tests, but if we do, there will need to be some sort of alternative. There are alternatives all around us. All different countries use them, and there are many different examples. One idea I personally found interesting is to simply make these tests so they don't have weight. According to the Salt Lake Tribune from the News Bank on February 4th, most spoke in support of a bill that, if passed, would give credit to students that get strong test scores, and that credit can improve their grades in a class. This idea will allow tests to have more of a positive connotation rather than negative. If tests are used as a reward, it will give students incentive to produce results that will satisfy the school and the government. Along with this idea, we can eliminate tests as a whole. It would take more time, but it would be more of a personal impact on every student from here on out. An idea called descriptive inquiry can be used. The idea is developed by scholars. According to Katatia Yoshi from the University of North Dakota, from the College of Education and Human Development in 2016, explains this concept as the participants, teachers as well, other support staff, administrators, and parents, depending on the circumstances, meet in a circle so that everyone is visible to one another and can actively participate in the exchange of ideas. A session includes a person who serves as the chair, a presenting teacher, and a note taker. These notes rotate among the participants. The concept will allow the school to individually and accurately evaluate students in a personal way that will allow them to be more comfortable with the circumstances. Moving on from what we will be replacing standardized tests with to how you can make a change. What can you do? I've spoken to you today about how standardized testing is useless. Now, I want to tell you how we can implement change and eliminate these tests for the future students. A website called change.org is a very well-known website with petitions for almost every issue you could think of. You can even create petitions here. I want you to go on that website and sign a petition called Suspend Florida Standardized Testing for the 2021 school year. You can also email our governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, at governorron.desantis@eog.myflorida.com if you want to do more than sign a petition. By doing this, we can eliminate tests from the past couple years. With the pandemic, times have been stressful, and online learning has not been very effective as an alternative option to in-person teaching. So, how can students be expected to do well in testing if we aren't even given the proper teaching we need? Although this is not a permanent solution, by proving we can function without these standardized tests for a couple of years, it proves that they were unnecessary the whole time. Once this is proven, alternative methods such as optional testing or a concept such as descriptive inquiry can be put into place to replace the standardized tests. By implementing this change, we will be helping every future student to succeed. With new and improved alternative methods for testing, it will guarantee students better results. By standing up for what's right, we can make a real change in the educational system for our children. After all, children are the future. In conclusion, I have explained how standardized testing affects many students in their futures in more negative ways than positive. It can be replaced with better alternative options, and how can you help to eliminate it? I want you to put a stop to standardized testing. I encourage you to sign the petition at change.org to achieve this goal. To do even more, you can go as far to email our governor. As you consider signing the petition or contacting our state officials to make a change, remember, in an article by Devine Ray Krutz from the Beaver County Times in 2015, it's not a fair comparison. We want to be able to demonstrate our communities that we are on a path to continual growth and improvement. As said, we want growth and success, and by eliminating standardized testing, this would do so. Thank you. Have a great day.